Hi babies, hi cuties, hi darlings, hi sweets, how are you? This is a general message, so take what resonates, leave the rest. Please use your own discernment and intuition. And whenever you find this, it is timeless, so it's the right time when you find this. I've jumbled that one up. I will never reach out to you for personal readings because I'm not doing them, and I would never do that anyway, so that's definitely not me, okay? Please report those people. Or things, whatever. All right. The first card we got here is the Four of Cups upright. With the World. With the Hermit. And we have the Emperor in reverse. And interestingly, at the bottom of the deck, we had the Empress in reverse. So I'm going to pull that guy out. So at first glance here, I'm getting, there's like tidying up, a closing, a finishing, if you will, of being disconnected or being dissatisfied with that Four of Cups, being like contemplative, like being kind of just sad or disappointed. There needs to be a tidying up or a cleaning up of that. And that's going within on with the Emperor in the verse and the Empress in reverse. I'm getting like parental, familial, like, or guardian, like association. So somebody that took care of you, your upbringing, somebody who helped raise you. And we have the Four of Pentacles to that Four of Cups, the Ace of Cups to the World, the King of Pentacles to the Hermit, and the Star to the Emperor. And Empress, will say, the way it came out. With the Queen of Swords at the bottom of the deck to the Lovers in reverse. Both are in reverse. With the Sun underneath that. With that Four of Cups being clarified by the, the Four of Pentacles, that's not realizing that you are secure, you are safe in the now, and you're reliving some sort of feeling of lack, something that's just not safe, you know what I mean? And it's interesting, they're both fours. So I see that as like a box. So as some sort of like completion of a building block. And with the World coming right after that, with the Ace of Cups, it's like, all you need is love. And see how this dude is like looking at his cup and he's like shocked, and it's like this sudden understanding that you're not in that. You're in a loving situation. And in fact, maybe like whatever you're reflecting on in the past, it was love. It's not that you weren't loved or whatever. It was just that people had their own woundings. They said their own things or whatever it is, that there wasn't love around you when you're looking back into your past. There was love around you. It's just, it doesn't feel like that. The main thing I'm getting here with that World and the Ace of Cups is what needs to be completed is, and the way to complete this is going through this new beginning of love and recognizing, you know, lifting your eyes up and looking around and looking for the love, looking for the compassion, the good things in people, that type of thing. And I'm not getting that you're like this cynical person all the way around, but there's some struggles, or you might be wondering why you're having some dramas, or with that Lovers card in reverse at the bottom of the deck with the Queen of Swords in reverse, why you might be having like harsh connections, or oh man, sorry guys. With the Hermit to the King of Pentacles, it's like, why is my world not reflecting like how hard I'm working, or why is my abundance not reflecting the amount of work I put in, or what is this? Like, it's this feeling that things aren't matching up to what energy you're putting in, or you feel that you're doing all this effort and there's no reward coming back. It's like you're spinning your wheels or you're not going anywhere. It's because there's this healing that needs to be done. This, even just, it's not necessarily that it has to be dissolved or anything like that, but it's this recognition that you were surrounded by love, you are surrounded by love, and this part of you is acting from a past wound, a past, you know, trauma response, whatever it is, and it's like you're stuck in it. And so that's what's causing all this outer world with that King of Pentacles. Oh man. Because we have the Hermit there, the Hermit to the King of Pentacles. The Hermit is like internal world. The King of Pentacles is like your material world, and he's the master of the material world. So mastering and coming to a closure, closing out this cycle within yourself of recognizing like, yes, okay, the Emperor in reverse and the Empress in reverse are like really shitty parents, right? They're like the shadow side of both of those cards. Overbearing, controlling, mean, insecure, all of these things. I'm looking at that Emperor and it's like, you can't do good enough for him. Or this Empress, you know, she ignores you. And that's like the mom and dad. And with that Star card being there, and see how it's like even a little kid. And when I put these in the little triangle that they're making, the inverted triangle, the kid is looking up at the parents. So this is what you had to, you know, all children, they look to their caregivers or the people that are around them to how to act, what's appropriate. You know, they're always watching, they're always absorbing. And you were absorbing these habits, these whatever thought forms. And so this internal world is reflecting this external world, and recognizing it's going to pop up because whatever you're getting frustrated about, or feeling that there's some stagnancy or just things aren't quite right, that is pointing you in the direction of what is causing these, what wounding is causing this outside world issues, because the internal world has some conflict and contrast. Therefore, it's reflecting outward. Huh. And so earlier, before I shuffled, we had the Queen of Swords in reverse. Now we have the King of Swords in reverse to the Eight of Wands. With that, with our Seven of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups upright, clarifying those, it's like this illusion that you kind of got past this. So it might be overlooked because you've already been like, yeah, I know my parents were like this, or I know that my upbringing was like this, but there's something that still needs to be accepted in that, or that this thing is going to continue to haunt you until you give, I have 444 on my clock, this attention that it needs. Until you give this attention that it needs, it's going to keep haunting you. Because I'm getting, it's like something that it's like you already are aware of. You're aware that this happened to you or whatever this is, and there's some sort of connection that needs to be made of like how you're acting now and or living your life now and what's being reflected back to you and what happened to you in the past. Yeah, because I'm getting, it's like, yeah, I already know this. Like, I already know my parents sucked or whatever it is. But there's some sort of like specific little thing. It could have just been like some snide remark made to you once and it's been affecting you since. Or, you know, they humiliated you in some sort of certain way that affected you so deeply to where now that's morphed your whole life. And it could have even been that this was said to you just because they were frustrated, they didn't mean it, you weren't even doing anything wrong. So there was this like, oh my god, I didn't even realize this, like I didn't think I was being bad or whatever. And then it's like this has affected your whole entire life. Yeah, so I'm looking at this Page of Swords here, and it's like this little kid holding this big ass sword. There's something that it's like this stunted part of you is trying to, it's like you're trying to be an adult or try to live your life now, and there's this thing that's still haunting you, this child that's still needing something or some recognition or just even acknowledging that experience or validating that experience. And we have the Nine of Wands in reverse with that. So I asked for the advice on how to move past this, and this is the Trust card. So there's some definite lack of trust in the universe or whatever it is, people around you, whatever, because you were let down as a kid, or you know, something, maybe you were so proud of a drawing that you made or whatever it was, and your parents were busy or whatever it was that happened, you know, whatever they had going on, worried about money, whatever, your caretaker. And so they didn't have the time. They were like, they shot you down, whatever it was. And they, they're not even thinking about it. Like, if they're still alive, like, they're not even thinking about that moment. They don't even recognize it, but you're still holding on to it. That child within you is still holding on to it. And like I said, it's probably something you could easily like recognize and pinpoint, but it's something deeper than what you're giving credit to. And we have the envy card here. Because you've had this like, oh, I can't trust, I can't put myself out there, I can't show anybody what I'm proud of, whatever it was. But with that trust card, it says, I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. And we have envy. I am the same as everybody, but with different challenges. There might be some comparison thing that, maybe your grandma was like, why can't you be like them? Or whatever it was, because they were frustrated or mad at you and tired, whatever they had going on. And so they found this thing frustrating, or it was something that they hate within themselves, so they were triggered by it or annoyed by it and trying to change that within you. We have the Imagine card that came out. I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. Yeah, so creation through like maybe drawing or they have this like thing where it's like doing ugly art, planning to draw something that you're not gonna like keep or anything like that, just to get something out of you, to create something, paint something, whatever it is. I'm getting it's like to use that to help just finally move this thing through you so this can stop haunting you. It might have to be continually looked at and recognize that this is like haunting you or whatever it is. Like, I don't necessarily feel like it's just gonna go away. It's gonna need constant like checking yourself that this thing isn't creeping up and affecting your now, like instead like the past, like you living in the past. I'm like stumbling over my words. Maybe there's like this thing of not wanting to speak your truth or whatever it is, or whatever you're going through because you've been shot down so many times as a kid or whatever it was. But like going back to that, it's gonna have to be like checked and looked at regularly, that it's not like creeping back and affecting and sabotaging your now life, because you're not living that. You do have love around you. You do have caring people around you. You are accepted. There is good things around you. Yeah, and I didn't even look at the bottom of this deck. We have the Six of Cups. That's the past. And we have the Change card. So maybe just a reminder that you can't change the past, but you can recognize that you are not living there anymore. I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. So this thing has to be looked at and recognized. It's like I'm getting it's like you already know that this thing has happened to you, but you may not be aware that you're still attaching so much to it. So much burden is following you from this that it's affecting your now life and it's sabotaging. All right, babies. I think that's it. We do have the Indecision card at the bottom of that deck, so it might just be one of these things that you get frustrated with yourself because you have a hard time making choices or moving in life with certain things, because there's this fear of like, oh, what if I make the wrong choice or whatever, because you got in trouble or were ridiculed or humiliated, whatever it was. Just looking and seeing that this can still, you've already known that this thing happened to you, and you're like, yeah, that makes total sense, but there still needs to be some acknowledgement that there is a heavier weight to it that is affecting your now life. All right, babes, I love you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day. Okay, bye.